What do you know about Shakespeare's most famous actor and his business partner, Richard Burbage? You may know that Richard Burbage was Shakespeare's lead actor for many years and his business partner in the Globe. But what did this imposing figure actually look like? Let's find out right now on That Shakespeare Life. Richard Burbage is one of the most famous actors of the Elizabethan period. He was the son of James Burbage, and together, James, Richard, and their brother, Richard's brother, Cuthbert Burbage, started the theater and later joined Shakespeare to launch the Globe Theater as well as the Blackfriars Theater. There's an impressive resume of theater accomplishments that make up Richard Burbage's legacy, but what did he actually look like? Why was he the actor that Shakespeare picked to fill some pretty big shoes and some of his most famous roles put on the stage? Well, to find out the answer to this question, we sat down and talked with Bart Van Ness, Shakespeare professor at St. Catherine's College, University of Oxford, and author of the book Shakespeare in Company. Shakespeare in Company is the only available account of the real lives and acting styles of members of Shakespeare's acting company. And Bart Van Ness writes an entire chapter on Richard Burbage. So here's what he had to say about what Richard looked like.
Well, we have a portrait which is now in the Dulwich Picture Gallery in London, but as with a lot of early modern portraits, the authenticity of that is pretty heavily under dispute. So the only things we can really say about him come from the roles he played. So we know he was the first Hamlet, the first Othello, the first Henry V, and the first Lear. He was clearly a very glamorous and loved actor, so I think we can assume that he was an attractive figure. He also seems to have been a pretty impressive specimen. I mean, one of the first appearances he makes in the record books is fending off troublemakers at his father's playhouse, the theatre, and threatening them with a stick. So I guess, he could hold his own. He was an all-rounder, I guess you could say, mixed with aristocracy, but also very popular with the crowds.
An impressive figure indeed. That Richard Burbage was something to behold. As a fun fact about me, when I was younger, I used to really get Richard Burbage and Richard Burton confused all the time, but hopefully with this new information, you can keep them straight. If you would like to hear our entire interview with Bart Van Ness on Richard Burbage, you can access this entire conversation on Patreon in the patrons only RSS feed, or you can use the link below this video to log in with your Patreon credentials and see both the audio and the history show notes we've got that go along with this episode, and there's even a portrait of Richard Burbage that you can check out in there as well. If you're interested in how the Burbages and Shakespeare created a big splash in the theater industry for the Elizabethan period, check out this video we did on Shakespeare's theater ownership, or check out the entire Shakespeare History Tidbits playlist for even more facts about the Bard. That's it for this week. I'm Cassidy Cash. Thank you for being here. I hope you learned something new about the Bard. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.